Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just gonna be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So potentially I've been currently out all day, so now this is my current first live stream. Now I'm currently doing today. So there's been a lot of rumours going on in the media in relation, to Gareth Bale in the last couple of days, and there's been a narrative in quite a lot of media outlets going on about it. And according to the Spanish outlet, reportedly Real Madrid are considering selling Gareth Bale in the summer. It does mention that obviously my club Manchester United have expressed an interest. It's also said Chelsea have also expressed an interest in Gareth Bale as well. But reportedly, it's been coming out in the last couple of days. Reportedly Real Madrid want around demanding that they want around 131 million pounds for Gareth Bale. He's still currently got a contract with Real Madrid until 2022, as we all know. But obviously, it did say they're demanding that they want a staggering 131 million pounds. I can't really see any teams, paying that for the player who's obviously he's obviously injury prone. He's Gareth Bale, but his goal scoring form still very very good. He has still got a very very good ratio. Gareth Bale, considering that he's injury prone and he's known for injuries. Is Gareth Bale, and considering that he's 29 years of age, so potentially now he's aging up. Is Gareth Bale, but we've been hearing the rumours, in at least the past couple of years, that he's been linked to a move to Old Trafford, and we've been hearing rumours in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, that Manchester United have been linked to him. In the last couple of years, there's reports been explaining that Real Madrid could consider selling him in the summer. Obviously, Real Madrid lost Cristiano Ronaldo last summer, as we all currently know. This is probably why Bale didn't leave last summer. But as we all currently know, it has said in the media that if Bale is to leave in the summer, he does favour the move to Old Trafford. Does Gareth Bale? But reportedly, he favours the move to Old Trafford. But from a Real Madrid perspective, reportedly they prefer to sanction him off to Chelsea. Reportedly, on Gareth Bale. But Gareth Bale is still a very very good player. He's aging up. Obviously, he's injury prone as well, and obviously he's aging up now. He's Gareth Bale. So I think if Real Madrid are to sell him, this summer, it would be hard, for them to recruit it would be hard for them, to get 131 million. It'll even be hard for them, to recruit, the money Real Madrid, paid for him from Tottenham, which was around 86 million pounds. But I think it will be hard for Real Madrid to even recruit that 86 million pound, considering his age, considering, that he's known for injuries as well. And obviously he's had a lot of experience of playing in the Premier League, Gareth Bale, as we all currently know. He had 6 years with Tottenham when he was younger. He actually began his youth career with Southampton as well. But as I did currently say, his performances have still been very, very good at Real Madrid, when he has had the chance, Gareth Bale. But obviously now this is his 6th season in the process. But, he's endured quite a difficult time in a way because, he's suffered a lot of injuries as well as Gareth Bale. But reports are saying from the Spanish press that Real Madrid are considering cashing in for the player in the summer. Reportedly Chelsea could end up maybe getting him, to be quite honest with you, because obviously we know Real Madrid have got a couple of targets. Real Madrid actually want either Christian Eriksen from Tottenham, and there has been talks about maybe Bale making a return back to Tottenham. And there's also, being talk, also Real Madrid have been linked with Chelsea's Eden Hazard as well. But in terms of he's got that winning philosophy, is Gareth Bale, in terms of winning trophies and that, because he has won trophies as a player, now with Real Madrid. But we know that he's had a lot of injuries, as I currently said, so he's a very, very injury-prone player. So I wouldn't recommend Manchester United, getting him, to quite honestly, because he's known for injuries. But we've got a few players in our squad that have got that are injury-prone. Luke Shaw's young, but he's injury-prone, but he's still very, very essential. Obviously, he's our first choice left back. We've got Phil Jones, who's injury prone as well. So we have got a couple of injury prone players, but Gareth Bale is very, very injury prone, as I currently said. But there has been talks coming out from Sky Sports reportedly saying that Real Madrid could use Bale. In a deal, to either get Eden Hazard from Chelsea or Christian Eriksen from Tottenham. So I'll be a bit more specific. So potentially there could be a swap deal on the card. So it could be either Gareth Bale going to Chelsea and Eden Hazard going to Real Madrid, or it could be Gareth Bale going back to Tottenham, going back to his former club Tottenham, and Christian Eriksen going to Real Madrid as well. So there could be a potential swap deal involved, because as we all know, Bale used to play for Tottenham, and as we all know that Real Madrid targets Eden Hazard and also to Christian Eriksen. So Real Madrid could use Bale as part of the deal, to either get Christian Eriksen or Eden Hazard in the current process, as I currently said. But in relation to Christian Eriksen, I don't think he's got that early on his contract. Real Madrid have actually been interested in Christian Eriksen. Tottenham and Tottenham, from their perspective, know how much of an essential player Christian Eriksen is, as I currently said. But I think reportedly he's got a massive transfer fee added into his current contract. There was a narrative about quite a while back. I updated you on. He is a very, very good player. Is Christian Eriksen, now well proven, of course, in the Premier League. Is Christian Eriksen, because I think this is now his sixth season with Tottenham Hotspur. Pochettino was discussing a while back. It would be good for him if he could commit his long-term future with Tottenham Hotspur, Christian Eriksen, because Tottenham know how much of a good player he is. But obviously, he's been Tottenham know how much of an essential player he is. But maybe Christian Eriksen may want to make the move to Madrid in the summer, because Real Madrid have been very, very interested in Christian Eriksen. Obviously, when he was younger in his prime, Christian Eriksen, he actually began his youth career with Ajax. I think he did win 3 Eredivisie titles with Ajax. Did Christian Eriksen, as I currently said. And Tottenham only paid just over £11 million to him, so he's grown, developed, and flourished fantastically well as well. But he has been a potential, Real Madrid target. Also, too, he's obviously, got records as well. He's scored the most goals in the Premier League, by a Danish player. Also, too, he's the first player to win 3 consecutive Danish Football Player of the Year awards as well. He's Christian Eriksen. So there has been a lot of talks about that going on. In relation to Eden Hazard, as we all currently know, I think he does intend to make the move to Real Madrid in the summer. Eden Hazard, as I did say, that I think the only chance Chelsea have got of keeping him is if Chelsea get top 4 and obviously get Champions League for next season, because obviously Eden Hazard is one of the best players in the Premier League without a shadow of a doubt, and not obviously a player of his calibre and a player of his kind of level wants to be playing in Champions League football, as I currently said. So if Chelsea can offer him Champions League football next season, he may stay at Chelsea. But I think, as it did come out in the press the other week, that report, it did say he'd announced that he'd made a decision on his future. Eden Hazard, and Chelsea, from their point of view, still know how much of a central player Eden Hazard is. He has of course been at the club since 2012, and he's grown, developed, and he's flourished fantastically well. Still got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's only he's in his mid-20s. Is he 26, 27 now? Eden Hazard, as I said, but his current deal does end in 2020. Well, the summer of 2020, next summer. Chelsea in the process of being in negotiations, getting him a new contract worth around £300,000 a week. But reportedly, as I did say, there's been no successions in contract negotiations. But Eden Hazard, from his own point of view, did admit last summer after the World Cup, and that he wanted to leave Chelsea, as I currently said. So as reports have been going on about Gareth Bale in the last couple of days, so there's been talks saying that there could be swap deals involved. So it could either be Bale to returning back to Tottenham, and then Real Madrid getting Christian Eriksen, or it could be Hazard going to Real Madrid and Bale going to Chelsea. But reportedly, from Real Madrid's point of view, they would rather sanction him off to Chelsea, because obviously it may be, from a Real Madrid perspective, maybe more beneficial, because they feel as though if they do sell him to Chelsea, that they can obviously get Eden Hazard as part of the deal. So that could be a potential swap deal as well. So they're basically looking, Real Madrid, to use Bale as part of a deal of them either getting Eden Hazard or Christian Eriksen, as I currently said. But from Bale's perspective, allegedly, he does favour the move to Old Trafford in the summer. But Real Madrid are considering selling him off. But reportedly, they're recommending that they want around £131 million, and that's a staggering amounts of money for a player that's known for injuries. Obviously, aging up now, as I said. So I don't basically think Gareth Bale's worth that anymore. And I think he has lost his place in the team as well as Gareth Bale, because it's been mainly Benzema, that's been very, very impressive this season, indeed, as I currently said. But that's the latest news to update you on. So from Man United point of view, I don't want Bale in the summer. I don't want Bale in the summer. Other news to give you an update on as well. Obviously we know my club, Manchester United. We're obviously planning, to get some new additions into the club in the summer. And as we all know, there has been a few targets, being mentioned in the media. And of course, obviously reportedly we're going to get around the £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer. Because I think now, Solskjaer is a favourite now, to get the job on a full-time basis. Considering his fantastic progression, so far, since he's come to Manchester United. United. He's got the confidence in the team, the motivations in the team, the fluidities in the team. I think, Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself. He's playing them delicate passes. He's giving good service to the front men as well. And he's been running riot, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took the veins at Manchester United, as I currently said. Pogba's been fantastic, and I think, he's rejuvenated the whole team, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he always has a game plan set out from the start. He tactically knows what he's doing. His formations are right. His lineups are right. And he's got the team playing in the right vein, in the right manner, and he has got that winning mentality, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And as I did say, in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he does have that. I think he's now, as a Manchester United manager, he's got that winning philosophy, as I currently said. Obviously, in terms of being a manager so far, we know, Solskjaer hasn't really won out as a manager so far. He had 2 spells at Mould, when he was manager. Yeah, he won two Norwegian titles with Mould. He didn't do so good with Cardiff, but he only had a really, really short tenure with Cardiff. He did win, some trophies when he was managing the Manchester United reserve team, and, these players day and age, you watch some of these players grow and develop, as I currently said. But obviously, mainly, he had that winning pedigree, did Solskjaer, in terms of being a player, because, he won a lot of trophies and he grew and developed and flourished under Alex Ferguson, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for 11 years. But I think he can start winning trophies as Manchester United manager, because he's got us playing in the right vein and the right manner. And if we can get some new additions to come into the club in the summer, because we do expect departures as well, I think he can elevate us to that high level, get us back up there competing, and get us back up there, winning, major honours on a regular basis, like we did, under Alex Ferguson for 26, 27 years. But his progression's been fantastic so far. Of course, obviously, Manchester United would have to pay an additional fee to Mould to get him on full-time basis. So far, we've paid 1.8 million. We've paid 1.8 million to get him on a temporary basis, but I think it would only cost around the £7-8 million to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, on a full-time basis, and that's very, very cheap, as I said, because he's brought something magical. To Manchester United, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But you can see the vast improvements. There's still improvements needed. As I said, we still need a strong central defender. Need a centre defensive mid that's fast and tenacious. Probably need someone on the right hand side as well, because a lot of people are saying it's their experienced players that are causing us the problems. So it would be ideal for Manchester United, to maybe get some young players, that could grow and develop under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I said, we know for a long, long time. As we all currently know, that Ed Woodward's number one has been Mauricio Pochettino, but I don't want Mauricio Pochettino at Old Trafford, because he hasn't got that winning philosophy, especially, in terms of silverware, and he hasn't got that pedigree in terms of silverware, because he hasn't won out yet as a manager in terms of silverware as Mauricio Pochettino. Don't get me wrong, he's done a fantastic job as a Tottenham manager. He's done a really, really good job at Tottenham. He's done a really, really good job at Tottenham as Mauricio Pochettino, but as I said, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, and obviously we know Solskjaer's a much cheaper alternative, because if we decided, that to recommend Pochettino in, at the end of the season, we would be paying at least around 34-35 million pounds for him, as it did currently explained in the media, considering he did sign a new 5-year deal last summer with Tottenham. But I actually letting him down, because I think his progression's been very, very good at Tottenham. He's done very, very well with them. The transfer policy's been very, very poor, especially since Pochettino took over, because Tottenham have only spent £50 million since Pochettino took over in 2014. This is his 5th season now with Tottenham, as I said, and I think he's won over 100 games, so he has got a good record there with Tottenham. He had a good record when he was managing Southampton, even though he didn't have a long tenure with Southampton, Mauricio Pochettino, but he did finish 8th place with Southampton, did Pochettino, as I currently said. But for a long time, he has been the number one. As I currently said, with Tottenham, he's got them 2nd place finishes, 3rd place finishes, got them to the last 16 in the Champions League last season. Looking likely now, he's got them to the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season as well. So he has done really, really well, as I said, and they are still slightly in there with a shout at the title. And Tottenham have got really, really good players, and he's good at growing and developing young players, he's Pochettino, but he has a good philosophy, but obviously he hasn't got that winning philosophy in terms of winning any silverware, because he hasn't won any silverware as Mauricio Pochettino. But as I did say, Tottenham's still in there with a shout, so we know he's been number one for a long time as Pochettino. But for me, based on Solskjaer's progression, he deserves a job on a full-time basis as Manchester United manager, because he knows everything about the club. He knows the club inside out. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he currently, knows what he's currently doing. But as we all currently know, that Manchester United, we're all aware that signings are needed in the summer, as I said. So obviously the Man United board, obviously are obviously planning to get signings in the summer, as I clearly said, because I've already identified to there's key areas where Man United do need to strengthen up, and that's obviously we need someone on the right, we need a central defender, need a centre defensive mid, that's fast and tenacious, as I currently said. But we know a couple of targets have been mentioned as well, because we do expect players to leave in the summer, and we know one of them has been that young 18-year-old Jadon Sancho, and we know that there's been a lot of talk about Jadon Sancho, as we all currently know, 18 years of age, very, very young in his prime. We have got young players in their generation, If Man United are willing to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho in the summer, that would convince Borussia Dortmund probably him off. I think Borussia Dortmund from their perspective know how much of an essential player Jadon Sancho is to their team, because his progression's been absolutely fantastic. He's grew, developed, and he's flourished fantastically well as Jadon Sancho. Only very, very young in his prime, 18 years of age, and £100 million is a lot, for a young 18-year-old. But reportedly, he will only agree. Jadon Sancho will only agree to join us if we do get Champions League football secured for next season. Obviously, if we finish on the top four, if we finish in the top four, but if we don't finish in the top four, then it's going to be unlikely that we're going to get any business done, to get Jadon Sancho in the summer. So it all depends if we get, top four in Champions League for next season, whether we get Jadon Sancho or not. But 18 years of age, very, very good player indeed. He's been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years now. Since he's broke into the first team, his performances have been very, very good indeed, Jadon Sancho's. Obviously, as well, he's had experience, of playing in English football, Jadon Sancho, as I did say, he had a couple of years with Man City. Obviously, in terms of, the game time, obviously, in terms of, in terms that it couldn't be guaranteed, to get in the first team, Jadon Sancho with Man City. This is the main reason why he left Man City and went to Borussia Dortmund. But he spent a couple of years in Manchester City's academy. Actually began his youth career with Watford, where he spent a lot of them as well. But Borussia Dortmund only paid £7 for him. So in financially, they'd make a huge profit for the player, if they were to sell him in the summer. He's currently got a contract, Borussia Dortmund until 2022 as Jadon Sancho, and it did say City have inserted a buyback clause in his contract, so City do have a buyback option on the player. There's it mentions around something to do with a 15% sell on clause or something like that as well. So if Man United were to come to an agreement in the summer for him, it did say City would receive around 15% of the transfer fee, reportedly. So there's been a lot of talks in the last couple of weeks, Man United have been linked with a summer move for Jadon Sancho. So we've identified him as a main target, to address that right hand side. Jadon Sancho has, been talks about him. And as we all currently know, guys, as I do keep currently saying, I think he'd be a great addition, if he was to come to Manchester United. Very, very young indeed as well, as I currently said. But he's still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. As I did say, Borussia Dortmund have done business with their players. Pulisic to sold Pulisic, but he's going to be officially a Chelsea player in the new season. Got rid of Aubameyang, sold him to Arsenal. They sold Ousmane Dembele for around 105, 106 million pounds, to Barcelona as well. So Borussia Dortmund are known for doing business, but we know that Jadon Sancho is not going to come cheap, but it depends if Manchester United, of course, can get Champions League football and top four for this season, so we can get secure Champions League for next season, as I currently said. So obviously, this Jadon Sancho, wants to play at the highest level as possible. So we have considered about making a move for him in the summer as well. We know other tags have been mentioned. We know Manchester United is still keeping track on that Felix, as we all currently know, the young Benfica star, only 19 years of age, very, very young in his prime. He's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. Only broke in the Benfica first team last season, did the player as well. Felix only broke in the Benfica first team last year, wasn't it? No, it wasn't last season, it was last year, should I say. He's only been the Benfica first team since last year, as this, Felix. Reportedly, he's got a buyout clause of around a staggering £105 million, is it? So it would take a lot of money, to get Felix away from Benfica in the summer. But he's 19 years of age. I think he mainly plays as a winner, but he can play in other positions as well. So he is versatile in his play. And Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on this Felix as well. So Man United scouts have been, watching him on a regular basis as well. So he's another young player that Man United have showed an interest in him as well. But there's been other names being mentioned. We know the major priority target for the summer is obviously Napoli's Koulibaly. We want him to address our defensive deficiencies, even though defensively we've dramatically improved. Since Solskjaer's coming. Especially away from home. We've won 7 away from home in all competitions. We've won 11 out of 13 in all competitions as well. All in all, but 7 away from home in all competitions, 5 in the league, 2 in the cup. I think we've won 8 in the league. We've scored 30 goals in the process as well. And obviously our objective this season is to get that top 4 and hopefully somewhere along the line succeed in the FA Cup as well. But as I did say in relation to Koulibaly, I think he'd be a great addition in our central defensive area, and he'd look good if you put him alongside Lindelof and Eric Bale, because I think Lindelof and Bale are building a bond together. They're blending in fantastically well, and I do think Lindelof's performances have really improved this season. He's showing that determination that he can play out from the back and gallop forward more. His distribution's improved. He's looking more effective in that back line. His passing's improved as well. So I think Lindelof's playing really well. And I think even though Bay's been in and out of the team this season, I still think Bay's got really good potential. As I said, Eric Bay, even though he's been in and out of the team this season, but I think them two, are on another level. Bay and Lindelof are on another level. To Chris Smalling and Phil Jones. Chris Smalling just recently recovered from injury, as we all could. He can have a good game. Sometimes Chris Smalling is obviously been one of the longest serving players here as Chris Smalling. This is his 9th season now as a Manchester United player. Of course, he's won everything in English football as well. You've got Phil Jones. As well, who I don't think that's he's not that good anymore, to be quite honest with you. Phil Jones, he's been one of the longest serving players here as well. He's been here since 2011. We got him from Blackburn. Sometimes can perform when he does get them run of games. We know that he's injury prone as well. But as I did currently say, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling could still possibly leave in the summer, even though they've both signed new deals this season. But I think Bay and Lindelof, are the best option in our centre defensive area, because I do think they're on another level. Bay and Lindelof, to Chris Smalling and Phil Jones. But either way, we do need a strong central defender. Koulibaly would be fantastic indeed. And we know, let me just turn this live because it's a bit bright in here, isn't it? And as we do currently know, guys, we do need a strong central defender. And Koulibaly, we know he would cost us in the excess of around £90 million, to get him in the summer, as we all currently know, because we've been linked to him. We've been linked to Koulibaly, for the past couple of windows, as we all currently know. We linked to him last summer, linked to him throughout the course of the January window. Manchester United were in negotiations of getting Koulibaly. In the process, we had 3 bids turned down. Of course, the most recent one was a staggering £95 million, that we had turned down by Napoli. He's still got a contract with Napoli till 2023, as we all currently know. Still got a contract with Napoli till 2023. Financially, Napoli would make a huge profit on the player, because Napoli only paid £7 million for him. I think it was from Genk, that Napoli got him from. And he's been at Napoli a number of years now, and he's grown and developed fantastically well. His performances under Maurizio Sarri are very good. Now his performances under Ancelotti are very good indeed. Koulibaly's, as I currently said, but he'd be fantastic. Leader in our back line would Koulibaly, and I do really highly rate him, and I think he's on another level, to be quite fair. He's 27 still, so it would be good for him to experience the Premier League, we'd get a lot of years out of him, but it's still possible that we could get him in the summer, even though a recent reports did come out of the media the other week saying that he's still committed to Napoli, he's happy at Napoli, but he did admit he's happy that he's attracting interest, Koulibaly, as I currently said, but we know he's the main target, to strengthen up in that defensive area. Of course, we have got that financial power to meet his valuation. We are preparing to pay that £90 million in the summer to get him, as we all currently know. But we know others have been mentioned as well. We know Inter Milan's Milan Skriniar. We maybe could go for him in the summer. Milan Skriniar is a really good player. He's 23 years of age. He's very young in his prime. You can't compare him to the likes of Koulibaly, because he's nowhere near on the same levels as Koulibaly. He's not as good as Koulibaly, as I said. But Milan Skriniar is 4 years younger than Koulibaly. You could arguably say if Milan Skriniar was the same age as Koulibaly, he'd be somewhere along the line on the sort of same level as Koulibaly, or same calibre. But Milan Skriniar is only young, he's 23. I think he's still valued at around £75 million, is Milan Skriniar. I think Man United could go for him in the summer as well. Obviously, if we fail with Koulibaly, then we may turn our intentions on maybe getting Milan Skriniar, to address our central defensive area. But Manchester United, of course, have been keeping track on him. Inter Milan have been keen on renewing his contract. Obviously, Slovakian. Inter Milan, I think, got him from Sampdoria for around £20 million, but he's been mentioned as well. And I think he can actually operate as a defensive mid as well, can Milan Skriniar. as it reportedly said. But we know on a centre back, but we know other names have been mentioned. Of course, in January and last summer, Eddie Militao got mentioned as well. He's been another potential Manchester United target in the past. Eddie Militao, again, very, very young in his prime is Eddie Militao. Very, very young in his prime is Eddie Militao. He's a Porto player, only been a Porto player since last summer, as we all currently know Eddie Militao. He's got a 40-odd million release clause in his contract. He's got 4 years left on his contract. He's Brazilian, as I said, but obviously they did get him last summer, did Porto. I think, was it from Sao Paulo, or something like that, where he'd progressing on the ranks. I think he's, 20, 21 years of age, so he is very, very young in his prime. I think Real Madrid as well, I've been monitoring the situation, of Eddie Militao, as I currently said, but Real Madrid could be the favourites, to get Eddie Militao, but his versatility is very, very good indeed. I think he's predominantly a right back, but he can play as a central defender. I think he can operate as a defensive midfielder as well, this Eddie Militao, but in the past, he's been a Manchester United target as well. But yeah, we've been linked, with quite a few defenders. Last summer we were obviously, linked with Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld. As I currently said, I think he's lost it now, to be quite honest with you, as Toby Alderweireld. I think he's definitely lost that yard of pace as Toby Alderweireld. As I said, he's 29 years of age now. He's obviously aging up. He's lost that yard of pace. There's areas of his game he does need to adapt, but he can prove to be a world-class central defender, can Toby Alderweireld. As I said, obviously he's going to be available for a reasonable fee, I think, this summer, because it did confirm a while back Tottenham have extended his current deal till 2020, and they've included obviously a 25 million release clause in this as well. He's still Premier League proven, he knows about the Premier League, as I said, the former Atletico Madrid and Ajax player, as I currently said, Alderweireld, but as I did currently say, I really wouldn't want him because he's 29 years of age now, he's aging up, and it would be ideal, as I did say, for us to get some young players, that could grow and develop here, as I currently said. But as I've been negotiating with you, I do expect players, to leave Manchester United as well, as I do keep updating you. Rojo, again, nearly returning back to her full fitness now, but he's, since he's come to Manchester United, he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time indeed, as Marcus Rojo. He's had a lot of injuries, so he struggled to get a run of games under his belt. He struggled with his fitness regime as well. I think it has confirmed his return back to training, but he is a good backup option, in that central defensive area, because his versatility at the back's very, very good. But he could leave in the summer as well. I think Rojo could leave in the summer. Valencia, again, another player I think is going to leave Manchester United. Is another player I think is going to leave Manchester United is Antonio Valencia, without a shadow of a doubt. I think he's going to leave in the summer, and I think West Ham have showed an interest in Antonio Valencia. Again, one of the longest serving players at Manchester United, Antonio Valencia. Of course, he's been here since 2009, and he's made over 300 appearances, I think, in all competitions. Of course, he's won everything here as well as Antonio Valencia. Obviously, he's grown and developed, and he has been in the central player over the years, but he's definitely lost his place in the 11. Obviously, just suffered another injury setback as well, Antonio Valencia, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, as I did currently say. And we know mainly anyway that Ashley Young has obviously been first choice in that right back position, as we all currently know. Now and again we've rotated on the left hand side, Ashley Young, but obviously we mainly play him at that right back position. Obviously just recently signed a new 1 year contract on his extension as well. He's been one of the longest serving players here as well, Ashley Young, and he's grown, developed and flourished over the years. This is what his 7th, 8th season now as a Manchester United player. Ashley Young, of course, he's won everything here as well. But Ashley Young's aging up. He's 33 years of age. Valencia, 33 years of age as well. And it has said West Ham have showed an interest in Valencia. I think it mentioned that Watford were also interested in Antonio Valencia as well. So I do see players going in the summer. Darmian's probably another one as well. I definitely think's going to leave United as well. Matteo Darmian. But yeah, there's more things to update you with as well. I've been hearing positive news today in relation to Marcus Rashford, guys. I do want to give you an update on. Reportedly, as it did say, I think Man United are set to get him a new 6-year contract. Reportedly, that's been coming out of the media today. Reportedly, Rashford, after breakthrough in negotiations, reportedly he's set to sign a new 6-year contract with Man United. After reportedly Rashford has indicated he's set to sign a new 6-year contract with Manchester United. United. Reportedly, he will, if he does sign this new 6-year deal, reportedly his salary a week will be around £200,000 a week. So somewhere along the lines, it's sort of similar, to Martial's salary. He's receiving a week because obviously he signed a 5-year deal with an option of a third year. Earlier back in was it on deadline day back in January? If I can remember rightly. But reportedly set to sign a new 6-year deal is Marcus Rashford, worth around £200,000 a week, as I said, and he deserves it, based on his fantastic performances as a Manchester United player, and he's definitely been playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as Marcus Rashford. We know mainly he's been first choice in that central attacking position, mainly over Romelu Lukaku, because I did say what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku can currently not do this, but Rashford deserves it, based on his fantastic performances. We know his current deal does end in 2020. Rashford's, there's still an option of a third year as well, but after more negotiations have took place, after more extensive talks, there's been breakthrough in negotiations, and we are close to coming to agreement of getting Marcus Rashford a new 6-year contract at Manchester United. Even though there's been speculation that Real Madrid have been interested, Real Madrid could reportedly offer him more wages, and they're reportedly willing to offer him £100 million to get him in the summer. But Rashford's very, very happy at Manchester United. He's been playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and obviously he's very, very young. He's only 21 years of age, as I said. And obviously, of course, I thought when Jose Mourinho was here, he enjoyed a very, very difficult time, at that period, when Jose Mourinho was here, because obviously Rashford, was lacking game time, as I currently said, and due to the lacking of game time, he couldn't really, show what he's capable of, because obviously he wasn't really getting the game time under Jose Mourinho. But since Solskjaer's come in, his performances have really stepped up. He's scoring more goals, he's leading the lines fantastically well. His finishing's also improved as well as Marcus Rashford. Of course, he's been a United player since the age of 7, progressing up the ranks fantastically well as a Manchester United player, Marcus Rashford. And yeah, good news. And he's been in the senior squad, since 2016, as well as Marcus Rashford. But we know mainly he's been first choice over Romelu Lukaku as Marcus Rashford, because we know that Lukaku's slow, as we all know, very, very slow indeed. He's Romelu Lukaku. His first touch does concern me. He's very, very slow, as we all know. So I do have strong reservations about him in that aspect. But he's still a proven goal scorer throughout his playing career, in the Premier League, Romelu Lukaku, because he scored a bag full of goals in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku. He did it at Chelsea, West Brom, Everton and all that, as I currently said. And in his first season with Man United, he scored 27 goals in all competitions as well, did Romelu Lukaku. But as I did currently say, there's been a lot, and I do think, since Solskjaer's come in, look, in relation to Lukaku, we know really he hasn't been first choice in that attacking line, but when he has been given the opportunity, I do think Lukaku's form has been rejuvenated, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But as I did say now, due to the recent injuries now, we've got Martial and obviously Jesse Lingard injured. Now, this may allow maybe, Lukaku to maybe get more opportunities from the start, obviously, as well. Is my battery low? This may allow Lukaku to get more opportunities from the current start, as I currently said. But we know mainly Rashford is the number 9, as I currently said. But obviously we know mainly the attacking trio. Mainly that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been going with since he's took the Manchester United job. He's been mainly going with Martial on the left, because Martial's very, very influential on that left hand side. He's been going with Lingard on that right, because obviously they're both very, very young in generation. They're very, very good out wide, Lingard and Martial. So mainly Solskjaer's been going with them two, as I currently said, and he's been mainly going over Rashford up top. So that's been mainly the attacking trio that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been going with. But now obviously, Martial's injured, Lingard's injured. I think, Sanchez could get more opportunities now from the start, as confirmed. But obviously, Alexis, in relation to Alexis Sanchez, I think, obviously, I think in my opinion, he's the only player that needs to improve as a Manchester United player. And Solskjaer did say, before the Chelsea game in the Cup, he did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he did currently say that he is confident that Sanchez somewhere along the line, will improve his form. And he said he needs a Manchester United goal, to potentially, give him that confidence, Alexis Sanchez, as I said, because he's nowhere near the player he currently was at Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, he's been here just over a year, and obviously, he's on over £500,000 a week, so we do potentially, want to see the best of him. But as I did currently say, he has had a difficult time, he's lacked goals, hasn't really been first choice anywhere, especially since Solskjaer's come in. And obviously, he has had a couple of injuries. I think he's, suffered a few hamstring injuries, as Alexis Sanchez Sanchez, but there's still room for improvements. He's lost that yard of pace, especially. There's definitely areas of his game does need to adapt, and Solskjaer is confident, that Sanchez will improve. He probably may be in contention, to start of the weekend against Liverpool, because obviously Solskjaer's confirmed Martial and Jesse Lingard that Martial and Lingard are going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, as he did currently confirm Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And there's also, been talks that Man United are close to also getting Ander Herrera a new deal as well. He's another player I've been very, very impressed with as well. Ander Herrera played very, very well indeed. Reportedly, Manchester United are on the verge of getting him a new 3-year deal. I think the salary is around £100,000 a week, because his current deal does expire this summer. Does Ander Herrera's as well. But in relation, to Ander Herrera, his progression's been very, very good as Manchester United player, since we got him back in 2014, from Atletico Bilbao. I think his progression as a Manchester United player has been very, very good under Herrera's, as I currently said. And obviously, he's very, very good at breaking up the play as well, under Herrera. And I think, especially since Solskjaer's come in, his performances have been good. He's been playing a bigger part in the team. He's been playing a bigger part in the team. He's been playing more from the start. And I think he's complementing our midfield well alongside Matic and Paul Pogba. And that's obviously the midfield trio that obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes with. But Ander Herrera deserves a new contract, based on his current performances. Of course, as well, I think some Manchester United have also been in talks of getting Andres Pereira a new contract at the club as well, a new long-term deal. But obviously, this may not happen due to that. Obviously, he has reservations about his playing time. Obviously, Andres Pereira, and obviously due to lack of game time he's been getting as a Manchester United player, he may not sign a new contract. Andres Pereira, and of course, he's one of our fringe players as well. Is Andres Pereira. But as I did currently say, so the main part of this video is to give you an update on what's been going on the last couple of days in relation to Gareth Bale. I do want to give you an update on, as reports do say, reportedly the Spanish press are reporting that Real Madrid are considering selling him in the summer. Reportedly, Real Madrid want to try and use Bale in a deal to either get Eden Hazard from Chelsea or Christian Eriksen from Tottenham, but they're willing to use Bale as part of the deal. So in that scenario, there could be a potential swap deal involved. Bale going to Tottenham, back to Tottenham, and Eriksen going to Madrid, or Bale going to Chelsea and Eden Hazard going to Real Madrid, as I currently said. And it did say, Real Madrid, do prefer to sanction him off to Chelsea. It did say from his own perspective, Bale, he does prefer the move to Old Trafford, as it did currently say. So the Bale rumours are starting to come back now in the media, as I currently said. But yeah, that's mainly everything to update you with today, guys. There'll be more live videos coming up very, very soon, as there always is on this channel. If you do consider, drop your likes on the video. If you do consider, subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for your time.